Everybody, we're gonna get started here. Go ahead, sir. All right, I'll call to order Chisholm City Council meeting December 23rd, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Yes, Counselor Halliburton.
Present.
Counselor Fountain.
Here.
Counselor Baki, absent. Counselor Varga.
Present.
Counselor Halverson.
Present.
Mayor Lane.
Here. Council, I'd look for a motion and support to adopt the agenda.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge allegiance if you would, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Holland, is there any public participation?
None, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Start with reports, council reports. Good evening, Councilor Holland. Start with you tonight.
Good evening. Merry Christmas, everyone. I went to a Rams meeting this past week. I attended our sanitary sewer district meeting. I'm also going to ask the public about parking in our front yards of our community. We should not be parking our personal vehicles in the front yards or the boulevards or plowing off these sections in front of your houses just due to how it looks. Plus, we worry about frozen pipes as well because we don't know where the pipes go into your house, so we worry about them freezing. We don't want that to happen. And I also want to thank the street crew for plowing right to the curb this year too. They plowed a few times and actually got right down to the curb and it looks really good, so thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Fulton, good evening.
Good evening. I would like to wish everyone happy holiday season, filled with love and joy and peace and good health for sure. And I'd like to thank all the City of Chisholm employees for all your hard work and for everything that you do for our city. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Varda, good evening.
Good evening. No report, just would I say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah, depending on who you are. I would second April's, the city hall workers are awesome, the best in the business, and so are the city crews. So, thank you all.
Thank you. Councilor Halverson, good evening.
Good evening. I attended a Redhead committee meeting last week, and that's all I have to report.
Season's greetings, everyone. Whatever you celebrate, I hope everyone is safe and happy. And I have no report, so moving on. Ambulance Director, Tiffany.
No report.
Police Chief. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. As always, an honor and privilege to be here before you. Just a couple things since I haven't been at the last few meetings with trainings and such. Just wanted to basically give you a rundown and a status on the department for the year since this is the last meeting. We're currently right at over 7,000 calls for the year, which is up 1,000 calls from last year. So that's a pretty substantial increase from last year. This is really the only time that I get to justify and say things good about my department. So I want to take this opportunity to do that in front of the public. I want to thank my department and officers for all their hard work this last year. It's been very busy. We've had a lot of calls that have, of course, impacted the city as well and community members, but we've also had a lot of success stories out of those calls as well. So I'm proud to be a part of this department. I'm proud to have a department filled with people who care really about what they do day in and day out. It's not every day that you have a job where you have to strap a gun on and a vest and put yourself in harm's way. So. I commend everybody that does this job, including fire and EMS. I believe we have the best in the industry, and I truly believe that. So, but it starts with our community too. So, we have a community that believes in us, and that being said, I want to thank the community as well for all their due diligence and their support throughout the year. So, with that being said, I have nothing on the agenda. Happy holidays to all. And if anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them. If not, then I'm gonna go sit down.
Chief.
Thanks, Jim.
City engineer, Kim.
I have no report, but would it be happy to answer any questions that you might have, but wishing everybody a Merry Christmas as well.
Thank you, Jim. Public Works, Larry. Good evening.
Evening, Mayor, Council, small report. You probably noticed cones and some paint outside on the Third Avenue intersection here. And MnDOT is rushing their project to remove the traffic lights from the Third Avenue intersection. It will be four-way stop forever and always, going forward as we know it today. So it will blink for 90 days, and they'll put up the stop signs with the stop ahead, and the traffic lights will be gone at that intersection probably forever. So after 90 days, they'll remove the crossbars and the blinking lights, and that's their schedule right now anyway. So yeah, and I expect it to happen soon.
Excellent.
So yeah, it goes with that mill and overlay that's coming next year. So
Right.
yeah, otherwise in Public Works, we're working on projects and maintenance on equipment, waiting for it to snow. We widened all the streets around the school today, and we'll work on some of the main traveled streets throughout the city tomorrow and into Friday, and then next week hopefully it snows. It's supposed to do in the wintertime, so. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Parks, Trails, Rec Director, Colin, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I just have a quick report as well. Just want to let you know that the outdoor rink will be open next Monday, December 29th. So we'll have the warming shack opened and the nets out there. So yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. City Clerk Treasurer, Devin.
Good evening, Norwood.
City Administrator, Stephanie, good evening.
Good evening. I also just want to take an opportunity to thank the staff and the support of the city council for the things that we were able to accomplish in this past year and the years prior. Without the support of the staff, we'd never be at where we're at, and also with the city council. And happy holidays to everybody.
Stephanie? All right, council, I'll look for a motion to approve with support the consent agenda, which consists of a list of bills, communications, minutes of previous city council meeting, and payroll and overtime.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Having no unfinished business, we move on to new business. Ambulance Director Tiffany Larson, good evening.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I have just one thing for you. It's a resolution to accept a grant from the Office of EMS. This is an operational deficit grant that they just put into effect the first time this year. And thank Devin for doing a lot of the work on this one, but yeah, a request to accept $21,796.67.
All right, council, I'll look for a motion and support for resolution 1225-106.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
I just have a question. Reading this at home, Tiffany, it says the worksheet has not been done yet. Is that true?
Yeah, so the
Or-
worksheet came in with the notice that we have received the
okay.
grant, so we are not behind on it at
Oh,
all.
okay. All right, that was my question. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Jim, good evening.
Good evening, thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Before you on page 24, we have resolution 1225-107 for the approval of the plans and specifications and the authorization to bid on our phase 1 Wenton addition construction. I had hoped to have received some cost estimates along with it. I have not received those yet, so but I do have the preliminary plans and specs here that I will leave in Mandy and Colin's office for review over the next couple of weeks. And what we're looking at is to bid this project the first Wednesday in February, and then hopefully to bring it to council for award at your first meeting in February. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Jim. I was kind of going through this, and I'm not going to pretend to be an engineer or anything, but I imagine that the scope of, the streets are conducive with the traffic that will be going through there, like the depth, the thickness, stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, we've reviewed that really with Bob Streeter and the engineers over the last year in terms of right-of-way widths, street widths, boulevard widths as well. And the way this is being set up for bidding purposes, because we're not sure just what the costs are gonna come in compared to what we have for funding, the phase one includes the extension of 8th Street, that cul-de-sac that's right there, that is Sherman Court, and then going down through the intersection of Holway. I'm missing that name.
Yeah.
It's the next kind of through street that goes east to west. And then that's in the base bid, and that encompasses about 10 lots. And then there's an add alternate that takes in Sherman Court as well. And that would increase the number of lots that are available to, I think, 23 if I counted right today. So we're setting up the bid to hopefully the bids are so good that we can do all of it at one time, save costs and mobilization and so forth, so.
Okay. But most of us think the thickness goes not
Yeah, we've gone through that same design that we do on our state aid streets and so forth in terms of. looking
Are
at-
the utility easements still built in right now too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 15-foot utility easements that are beyond the right-of-way, Jim.
Okay.
On each of those properties.
Just to add to this development, we'll have boulevards, sidewalks, so we'll have cul-de-sacs, so it's more of a walkable neighborhood. 24-foot street, the streets are a little bit narrower.
On the cul-de-sac streets, we're 20, 22.
Sorry, put you on the spot.
I'm getting old, I don't remember.
Apologize.
No, that's fine. I think we're, trying to think, I think we've got 11-foot lanes and an 8-foot parking lane. Well, that's the bigger ones, 10-foot and 28-foot on the cul-de-sac streets and 30 feet curb to curb on the spine roads of 8th Street and, what's the loop? I'm missing the loop name now. Monroe Loop.
And I might beat Marty on this one here too, because I was looking on here, I did see in the first, half dozen items was the geogrid. Was that laid out for the streets?
Yep, that's become our standard design, right? We've got the fabric at the bottom of the aggregate base, and then about the midpoint of where we put our class 7 aggregate or class 5 aggregate, just before they put on curb and gutter, we got about 3 or 4 inches of that class 5 or class 7. That's when we put down the fabric, and then they pour the curb and gutter, and then, or they pour the curb and gutter and then put the geofabric between the curb at that point before they put on that last 3 or 4 inches. Then we've got a 2-inch bituminous base and an 1.5 inch wearing course surface that we'll put on a year later as we normally do.
Okay.
All the curbs are basically gonna be a surmountable type of curb, so we're not gonna have to be busting out curbs wherever the driveways get placed. It's about a 4-inch rollover type of curb, so.
Last question.
Sure.
The excavation of the rock. It seems to always kind of shoot us in our foot in a lot of projects. So we're bidding a total quantity of 1,600 cubic yards. So
Yes.
we'll be able to tell what each contractor's cost is per cubic yard. So if there is an add-on later because they hit a bunch of rock, which we end up costing us more money, we'll know exactly what to figure in.
It's, again, just like we always do, it's a unit price per cubic yard, so whether it's over or under, we'll pay for the actual quantity as measured in the field.
Okay. All the questions I had.
What's adult 2, Jim? I see there's an adult 1 and then there's a 2. It's pretty small. It's just 2 bid items. Drainage structures.
What page are you on, Marty?
G1-02.
Okay.
Looks like adult 1 is the additional.
I'm not sure, Marty, to be honest with you. I suspect it may be the drainage structures that are down there in the retention pond area, but I don't know for sure.
So it looks like base bid is all this block one, and then adult one is mostly,
Yeah, right when you get to Sherman Court, which is the lower of those cul-de-sacs, just before, or the lower one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 10
Sher-
lots.
Sherman Court is that last cul-de-sac, and basically that encompasses that additional 13 lots. And the construction is really just beyond the right-of-way line. So yes, you come in on 8th Street,
Yep,
takes in Sherman Court, which
Yep.
is that first cul-de-sac,
and
then
then,
that, I'm,
yeah, this is 10 lots here.
right,
And then
yep,
this is
yep.
13.
And there's an additional 13 then with
Okay,
that second phase or that add alternate one. I will check on that add alternate two. I had missed that. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, when checking that too, I think we also even talked about if they were to dead end the road further down. I don't know, maybe if they're gonna extend anything, so.
Yeah, actually, that Second Street that I'm missing the name of will be hopefully extended in the future with the development of that land to the south. And then Monroe Loop will continue to be extended to the southeast and south to eventually tie in with Fifth Street Northwest. And Fifth Street Northwest is one that we've got in our 5-year capital improvement program to replace the utilities and the streets, infrastructure replacement, hopefully in the next few years, to extend out to that Wenton addition. What would be in phase 2 would be served sanitary sewer-wise by the Fifth Street extension.
Anybody else have any more questions? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion and support for resolution 1225-107.
Make a motion.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Public Works, Mr. Folstead. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mayor. In reference to the last conversation, it's 10-ton standard is what we call that road base, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Jim knows every inch, some of us know 10-ton standard, right? Much appreciated though, Jim. If I could bring you to page 23. I had it, I lost it, right?
26?
26, thank you, appreciate it. We've talked a lot about the lift station and about upgrades and about pumping capacity and doing better. And this is the final upgrade, which was approved this week by the PFA folks down in St. Paul. We did receive the approval letter to purchase the pump using replacement funds. So that's always a big question, where's the money come from? So generally speaking, it wouldn't affect the general fund or the utility rates going forward for this purchase. It's in our restricted funds that we do set aside to run the business. So with that, I ask for your support and to purchase the new lift station pump from WW Watts for $51,604 plus freight. And this is the final of 3 pumps in our lift station now since 2009 when it was retrofitted to when we started pumping over to the sanitary district. And I'll highlight that with the pump technology over the last 15 years, we are able to pump another 600 gallons a minute with these new pumps than previous, and that's an amazing amount. So generally speaking, for easy numbers, our current pumps pump about 2,150 gallons per minute. These will pump 2,750 gallons per minute, which is huge when we have these 9-inch or 12-inch rainstorms over a 2-day period. So it's amazing, it really is. So we've done a lot with the lake, with cattails, with other, storm sewer projects, and this is just the final upgrade in our lift station, so.
Council, if there's any questions, I'd look for a motion and support to approve the purchase of the lift pumps, of the new lift station pump for $51,604 plus freight.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Is there any further discussion?
This is also recommended by the PUC.
And we did satisfy the city competitive bidding process. Should be mentioned. Thank you, Devin.
Saw that.
I just have a comment for Larry. I'm very glad that you were able to find a Minnesota company to do this.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the good company out of Brainerd, they have a service center. You could call them at midnight tonight and be there in the morning. They'd service your pumps for us, so they're a really good company.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Parks, Trails, Rec Director.
Colin
Sir
replaces
Luke.
Jim.
Welcome back. Thank you.
Hello again. First and foremost, before I jump in, I'll have my two guests that I brought with me today for my agenda items introduce themselves and their role and why they're here today. So, might as well.
Hey, people at home can't hear you unless you're speaking into the microphone.
All right.
So if you are speaking, please be in front of the microphone.
Good evening, thank you for having us here, and a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy Hanukkah. I'm Andrea Woodall from Bar Engineering. I'm the project manager for the Redhead Trail project.
Tony Lautisi with Begalis Incorporated, we're the contractor.
Good evening. Welcome.
So if you turn to pages 28 through 33, attached, please find change order number 1 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. I would recommend the council approval of change order number 1 in the additional cost of $45,715.
Can you just give us a little overview of each one, kind of which one was for?
Okay, so
Yeah, you're probably best at doing that.
Yeah, you bet. So change order number 1, just to walk you through, there are a couple of change orders and a couple of pay apps here, so bear with us. Change order 1 was for the additional pedestrian concrete on the project. Again, this was a unit price that we had. We needed some additional to put in. We had a wrong quantity originally, so that this is the pay amount for that. In addition to, this was the vehicular concrete for the ambulance access as well too. So this is a combination of those two things within that, as well as the trail was widened with additional class 5 for the race finish, if I remember correctly. This was the Councilor Halverson was adamant that we needed a little bit more space on that side, so that's what this one was for too. So those three items in change order.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My council, unless there's any questions, I'll look for a motion and support for change order number 1.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Marty. Support?
I'll support it for questions.
Thank you, Jim. Okay.
First question is, where is this money coming from?
Devin?
Devin, should I can tell you where I think it's coming from. But Devin.
Well, just a broad overview for all of these items, 1 through 7. But I go to every Redhead meeting and we go through the budget. So LCCMR of 1.666 million. A portion of that's coming out of those funds, and then $1 million grant from the IRRB. That should be everything. We do have the connectivity grant, but I don't believe any of these invoices are applicable to those. So no city funds. It's all LCCMR grant and IRRB grant.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Devin.
What was the original contract price that was bid?
Oh,
It was-
that is-
It's an increase of 45, so.
Five,
It was like 541
41,
something.
526.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yep.
And there are 4 change orders. just
Yeah,
to
so like,
track.
as we go along here, there is some deducts as well
Right.
towards the end.
Okay.
I think it is just important to note to the council that it was basically some funds are being moved from others, but it's still going to be grant funded, as Devin said. So just to be aware that this money is granted to the city to work on Redhead.
Right.
There was just some changes throughout the project that made sense for this specific one to be increased, and nothing comes out of general fund.
Okay. Yep. And then we talked about this was also the apron to be able to drive, so we looked at, okay, when the fair's here, how are we gonna get the ambulance through? How are we gonna get something able to congestion? So we had to make a new area with thickened concrete, expanded area, a gate that would prevent other people from driving in and out, and the ambulance can come through, so our emergency services have faster response. Now, I believe all of our EMS and police and some fire were involved with the meeting, so
Is it thick enough concrete to hire a fire truck?
It's
Because fire trucks are slightly heavier than an ambulance, so.
I don't think we have a lot of structures on the backside where
But still,
We didn't do any calculations of that, but it is 8-inch reinforced concrete and
Okay.
very thick, and I believe it's like 10 inches of aggregate underneath
Yeah,
there.
maybe 12.
12, yeah,
Know
so,
what the section is.
yeah. It's a smaller chunk, I mean, or I should say it's not a huge section, but at the same time, it should stand up to some pretty serious wear.
I assume it's more well-built than most roads and stuff.
okay.
But yes.
Why would you say
I'm the
that?
council liaison to the fire department, so I have to ask that question.
Yes. My disclaimer is I'm the landscape architect, so I always defer those loading questions to a structural engineer. So I'll get you an answer though.
If there's any further questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2?
Perfect, so if you can turn to pages 34 through 39, attached you'll see pay application number 3 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. BAR recommends payment in the amount of $96,641.75 for work performed to date by Bugalis.
91.
$91,641.75.
Hi, council, unless there's any questions, I look for a motion and support for pay application number 3.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So if you turn to pages 40 through 43, attached, please find change order number 2 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. The change order is for the addition of boulders to be moved and placed on site. I would recommend approval of change order number 2 in the additional cost of $1,120.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Perfect. Well, now if you would turn to pages 44 through 49, attached, please find pay application number 4 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. BAR recommends payment in the amount of $126,316.75 for work performed to date by Bugalis.
Okay, council, look for a motion and support, pay application number 4.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then if you'll turn to pages 50 through 53, attached, please find change order number 3 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. The change order is for electrical service and receptacle to the Old Hickory building at the Redhead Trailhead. I would recommend approval of change order number 3 and the additional cost of $1,720.
Council?
Make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then if you'll turn to pages 54 through 58, attached, please find change order number 4 from Bugalis for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. The change order is for deductions and an addition of a removable bollard made out at the trailhead. I would recommend approval of change order number 4 to deduct $33,916 from the contract price.
Council, unless there's any questions?
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Jed.
Someone wants to know why there's a deduct?
Yeah, no, we care, huh? Right? Please, tell us. Actually, you're here. Why do we have a deduct? I'm not kidding, please.
Why is it so small?
It's pretty lengthy, you'd have to, if you
Oh,
have
so,
change
yeah,
order
right.
4 in front of you, you should read multiple unit price items that were eliminated from the project.
No, we appreciate it. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and last but not least, if you turn to page 60, Bugalis is requesting an extension of the substantial completion date from December 15th, 2025 to June 1st, 2026 for the Redhead Trailhead improvements. This request is due to several factors that delayed completion as detailed in the attached letter from Bugalis. I recommend approval to extend the substantial completion date to June 1st, 2026.
One correction, the final completion date is set for, it's actually final completion, not substantial completion. So if you'd like it both to be final and substantial completion, per his letter, I should say, then, you can make final and substantial completion be on that date, but I would guess that it's gonna be earlier than that we could do substantial completion if you'd like. Thoughts?
Did you mean to type that, both financial and?
I only typed final completion.
Oh, okay.
It was it's for grant report, or the grant needs to be done and paid out by end of June. And
Okay.
so hence, we want to make sure,
And there's a, correct?
correct, yeah, the grand opening, I believe, is scheduled for the 5th or 6th.
The first weekend in June.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
So that was the reason for.
So we were just looking to legally or contractually move these, final completion date to June 1st.
Mhm.
That would appease me. I don't need to know when you're gonna be almost done, as long as we know. So, unless anyone feels differently.
Just one question, what percentage is completed up there right now?
So what we have left, if you read the letter, is we have to set the bike wash and the drinking fountain. Those were one of the biggest holdups due to us not having plumbing plan review submitted when the project was opened. We have the removable bollard, which we added to keep vehicle traffic out of the fairgrounds area. Then you could remove this during the fair, so the ambulance and fire trucks can get in there. We have some parking bumpers and some signage is really it. Now, there is still some electrical work to do too. I know some people were hoping to see the lights up. The lighting cabinet is on back order. Hart told me last week he's hoping to have that within 3 weeks. He's not opposed to doing some electrical work during the winter on nicer days. So you could see some of the electrical work done throughout the winter. Otherwise, we'll wrap up those things right away in the spring.
And just so the council knows, electrical stuff has been backed up by months this year. They're still working on streetlights for Hibbing. That, the job was done in April or May, whatever. They still haven't got streetlights, so.
Yeah, it's been the worst part
Yeah.
of finishing our projects this year.
And also to add to, the reason, we were waiting on the Dolly permit, Department of Labor and Industry permit to come through, the lead time on even permitting processes are quite lengthy at this point too, so. And, the sleeving, or there's a sleeve that sets in the concrete, that they set almost all of the concrete, that they could, or they got as much pulled up to, grade, but left just what they needed to in order to get that sleeve set for both the bike wash, the drinking fountain, and then also the removable bollard. So those three things, that's the reason why those are still outstanding. They did all the other concrete work minus that to get to as far as they could get with the process.
Where's the drinking fountain gonna go?
It's over by the,
Have you been up there?
Oh, yeah, I did all locating up there.
There's two orange, well, we put 2 orange barrels, one over the sleeves for the drinking
Okay.
fountain and one over the sleeves for the bike wash.
Oh, okay.
They're essentially in the same area, same
Okay.
location.
Okay.
pretty close to the lighted sign, that's there, the big redhead sign.
Yeah, kind of over by the 2 sheds,
Okay.
I guess,
Okay.
kind of the northeast corner of the lot.
Mhm.
April?
Yes, with extending the completion date, is there gonna be any more costs associated with extending that?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
And landscaping is all but done too. These are some small finishing things minus, I mean, especially the things that literally just need to be coming in set at this point.
Yeah.
There's not any further questions. I'll look for a motion support to approve the final completion date to June 1st, 2026.
Motion. Oh, support.
Thank you, Jed. Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, clerk treasurer. Mr. Sigler.
If you turn your attention to page 61, this is just formal acceptance of donation from the Blandon Foundation of $35,000, and it'll be earmarked for capital projects. So we're just looking for formal approval.
Isn't it Parks and Rec projects?
Or a Parks and Recs project, yep.
Okay.
Well, like,
And or used for capital.
yeah, capital,
activities.
like our Long Ear Lake Park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not operating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, council, I look for a motion support for resolution 1225-108.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Marty. Would this be something we should be sending them a letter? Thank you.
And did you write this, Grant?
No.
This was designated by Blandon.
Is Blandon Lunch Chisholm?
They just love us.
Yes, so thank you to them.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Devin. City Administrator, Ms. Scrava.
Good evening. The first item I have on the agenda is resolution number 1225-109. This is a resolution authorizing City of Chisholm to make application and accept funds from the commercial redevelopment grant from IRRR. I have been working with a new business in town to do some demo work inside of their building. This is a great program because it just gets some of our older buildings in downtown back to new life. We've utilized it in other buildings downtown and it's worked out really great. So we're working with them to get a grant from IRRR.
Council, look for a motion and support for resolution 1225-109.
Make that motion.
Thank you, April.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Stephanie.
Next item I have on the agenda is resolution 1225-110, accepting grant from the IRRR Housing grant program for Wenton Edition. I want to start out by thanking the board members and the staff of IRRR for investing in this project in Chisholm. It's been a long time coming, and thank you to all the staff that's been working on it. We're excited to see it come to fruition. So we were awarded an additional $1.8 million for the infrastructure of Wenton Edition. And as you know, earlier in the meeting, we are going out for bid, and hopefully construction will start this spring.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I would like to echo those. Our project is definitely, I wouldn't say favored, but it's very much supported by the IRRR board members and staff. And, they all spoke very highly of everything that they saw, everything that was laid out for them and that we've sent. So, yes, thank you very much. Council, I look for a motion and support for resolution 1225-110.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item I have on the agenda is the EDA has been working, as you know, on housing initiatives within the city of Chisholm. There's 2 vacant lots that are currently on the St. Louis County tax forfeit list. There are 2 50-foot lots on the north side of town. The EDA has approved to purchase those 2 lots. The process for EDA for final purchase is approval by the council, so we're just looking for that final approval from the council.
Make that motion.
Thank you, April.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Just a little more information on that. I'd just like to say that, we have been working on the EDA very thoroughly to try to see what we can do to make sure, these are tax forfeits, so obviously they went for sale and no one decided to buy them. And before they end up as blighted properties or a place to park vehicles, the EDA has proactively been searching out these areas of town and trying to utilize these and the planning that we have done with Bob Streeter. So we're going to see a lot of these projects start to come to fruition. So I want to thank you, Stephanie, very much for your hard work.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next item I have on the agenda, as you're aware, we have approved the sale of a parcel lot in the industrial park, which was pending a development agreement with Superior Fuel. Attached is the development agreement that we have drafted with Superior Fuel. This is what we will the agreement that we will have with them on that parcel. We are working with them on additional development too. So I'm just looking for approval for the development agreement to move forward with Superior Fuel in our industrial park.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I just have a question.
Yep.
I know they said a small operational shed. Did they say what kind of shed? Or
We haven't had discussion with them on
Material?
what requirements are that can be within the code.
okay,
Yeah. So no like shipping containers or has to
Right.
be within code to have.
to have something there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
we did discuss that. Also, just to note, this has gone through the EDA and has been approved. They have met with the owner of Superior Fuel also.
And I would actually just also like to applaud the EDA, taking extra time, extra meetings to sit down and work with Superior Fuel and talk to figure out what the plan is, just to make sure that we are doing the best we can for the city of Chisholm and for our new partner, like Superior Fuel. And I think everybody is very happy to have these new guests in town. Guests, new patrons.
Residents.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jed.
Second?
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, council, we kind of brought up at the end of last meeting how we have to have our reorganizational meeting on the 6th, and if everyone seems to be okay with moving the first meeting in January to that 6th meeting instead of having 2 weeks back to back. I know we all have a lot of things to do. Our staff has a lot of things to do. So if we can move this to January 6th, I think it would be a lot better on everyone. So if you all agree, I'd look for a motion and support to reschedule January 14th, 2026 regular meeting to take place on January 6th, 2026, following the reorganizational meeting.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 79, so we got a letter of support handed to me at one of the Rams meetings. So this is for St. Louis County Number 1 legislative priority, Canyon Integrated Solid Waste Management Campus. We all benefit from these areas, and Commissioner Nelson really like our support. So I'd look for a motion and support to approve the letter of support for St. Louis County Number 1 legislative priority, Canyon Integrated Solid Waste Management Campus.
That's a big one.
Motion.
Thank you, April.
This is a great letter too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any support?
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Is there any further discussion?
I just have a question. They mentioned Virginia in here too. So what's do you know the plan to get all the way to Canyon, Minnesota?
Says that this will help extend Virginia's life to 70 years.
Oh.
I read it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just
so
curious,
like-
I was just about the Virginia being mentioned for Canyon.
You have to look at your garbage coming up to Virginia right now.
Mhm.
But this will take that away and put it in Canyon.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
So for those at home, this will just expand their resources, so those south of Virginia don't have to fill up the site, and those up here don't have to travel as far. Well, we will eventually. But. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last, we have Humane Society of Chisholm Precious Paws contract for 2026. Anyone with Precious Paws here? So attached, you have the contract. This is, it's a necessity when you look at what's troubling a lot of communities, the lack of having these shelters and, how they operate. So I'm not sure who has questions. I know we have some verbiage in here stricken out. But no one sees a problem with it or wants to talk about it. Otherwise, I'd look for a motion in support to approve the 2026 contract.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion?
I have a question for the police chief. about, I know our officers pick up animals once in a while. Is 100 enough for the year? That doesn't seem right to me.
That's per.
So, over the last few years.
Jim, you wanna come up to the podium, if you wouldn't mind?
So to answer your question, Councilor Varda, I mean, over the last few years, we've had a heightened increase in animal collections. Part of that is due to other cities in our surrounding areas are having very difficult times with their shelters. So people are driving here, dropping animals off and saying, well, we found it in Chisholm, just so they have a place for them to go. I think that number is probably a little low. The other part to this contract that I would like to bring up is they have a clause in here about biting and scratching situations. So we are very tied to our city ordinance and the dangerous and potentially dangerous dog ordinances and state statutes. So we don't really have an avenue to deal with those type of dogs if, for whatever reason, they can't go through that process. Other cities have actual animal control that can deal with those situations like hibbing. We don't have that, right? So it's our officers that are having to go in, deal with those, and then when we have those situations with a dog that has bitten somebody, now what do we do with them? Well, if our own place that we are paying can't provide that service or that housing, what are our options then? And I think over the years, these type of situations have kind of just taken care of themselves. But there's gonna be that one time that it doesn't, and then we're stuck with trying to figure out what we do with this animal, right? Whether we rehab or euthanize, God forbid. So I don't know if that can be spelled out in this contract. I know myself and Attorney Lindsay have had this conversation, and he was gonna bring that up tonight, but we may. So I don't know if this is something that needs to be done tonight, or can be added at a later time. But I think that's an important topic too. So hopefully that makes sense. The unfortunate reality, the biggest problem that we see is that we have animals from other cities that are getting dropped off here. And of course, they don't carry GPS trackers on them, so we can't tell if you picked it up in Hibbing and now you're dropping it off here because.
That's why I've asked, because I've had people from Virginia and Hibbing both tell me they bring their found animals to Chisholm.
Right.
For that reason.
Right, and I think some of the other facilities and shelters in the area, I've heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that the Humane Society is charging like an astronomical amount for over like $600 an animal. Just because this is a problem. And there are a lot of strays, so, and not a lot of resources for those strays, so.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
More question. So, should we have like a not to exceed clause in this thing? Because if we have 10 pregnant cats that have 9 kittens apiece, that's a lot of money on the taxpayer. Without council approval, I mean, where do we go from there? I guess that makes no sense.
What's that?
We hold off on it.
Can do whatever we want.
Then Attorney Lindsay can look at number 5.
Well, it sounds like we should have like a working session. You're not wrong, you know, if a stray cat gets dropped off in Chisholm, all of a sudden it has 9 cats, and we gotta pay, $1,000 right there. It's hardest part about these contracts, and nobody wants to look at the hard reality of what the alternative is. Unless we're gonna start euthanizing dogs and cats on this, it's not a really humane way. You can try it any way you want, but it's tough. It's tough for people to do. Yes. I look at
good timing.
Hibbing had some of their issues and
Finally need you.
that were coming. It's just,
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to see just have a working session with the Precious Paws staff because the price goes from 100 to 150. Why the increase? We want to see some. Why the price increase? What's vet bills, whatever it costs there. A little more information.
And I would like to just say one comment. I mean, Precious Paws has been very good to us for many years.
Oh, yeah,
So I don't want
they're very good.
I don't want to put it out there that they don't do a great job, because they do. And of course, we're lucky to have a facility right within our jurisdiction. But yeah, I think just a few things that need to be buttoned up as far as the contract. I think for both sides would be beneficial. So.
So I would look, we set a working session to talk about this?
Yeah.
Right here, Dunley?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. If we would like to add a working session for this one, we would like to add it. Well, let's, why don't we hold off on this and then at our first,
We'll be without a contract January 1st.
no. What can you do there, Brian?
So one thing that the council could do is we could reach out and just ask for that, ask them if they'd be willing to do a 1 month extension while we internally talk about the contract and get things in order. I know there are a couple of issues, and I apologize for coming in late on this one. There are a couple of issues and some additional services that may be good to ask them to perform for us.
Okay. Well, so why don't we table this, and at the next council meeting, we'll see if they can come, maybe have a bit of a working session after a council meeting on the 21st.
I'll make a motion to table.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, anybody have anything under miscellaneous? All right, I would invite everyone else to leave. And we're gonna recess into, can I get a motion to recess into closed session?
Motion.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, April. At what time? 6:21? Do I need to do? Opposed? Motion carries.